One of the steps Nisha used to correctly solve an equation is shown below. In line 1, we have 18 plus 8x minus 4 equals 13. And in line 2, we have 8x plus 18 minus 4 equals 13. Which set of statements describes the procedure Nisha used to go from line 1 to line 2 and identifies the property that justifies that procedure? Notice here we have some fancy terminology in our problem. Some of that terminology includes the associative property of addition. We also have the commutative property of addition. We have the additive inverse property. And we also have the additive property of equality. When we see these types of terminology, it's very important that we go and reference, if we don't know them, the reference sheet or formula sheet for the exam. Over here are the arithmetic properties. So we have the additive inverse, the multiplicative inverse, commutative property, associative properties, identity properties, distributive properties, multiplicative property of 0, additive property of equality, and multiplicative property of equality. And again, the commutative and associatives and identities have both the addition and multiplication versions of them. Going back to our problem now, if we look at what the associative property is in part A, and referencing the formula sheet, this would be A plus B plus C equals A plus B plus C. In part B, we have the commutative property of addition, again, based off the formula sheet. This is essentially A plus B equals B plus A. The additive inverse property in C is A plus negative A equals 0. And the additive property of equality states that A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. Now going back to the original problem, what is important is this information up here. Notice that 18 in line 1 starts as the first thing in our problem, but then moves to the second part of the problem. So we got some rearranging there. What stayed consistent, though, was the negative 4 stayed consistent. What also stayed consistent in the problem was what it was equal to, the equals 13s. But what flipped was what we wrote first and second. And because we got some rearrangement of the order that they're written in, this helps us to properly get our correct answer here, which is letter B, in which Nisha changed the order of the 18 and 8x. This procedure is justified by the commutative property of addition. Notice that was A plus B equaled B plus A. While yes, I had 3 things in the original problem, it could be broken down to a smaller scale of just 18 plus 8x being the same thing as 8x plus 18.